Hey, Brother JT, on action. Trippin Balls. Shall we talk about tripping? Shall we talk about balls? Not very much, though. Mostly tripping. I'm so excited. We're kicking it old school tonight. We got the martini. We got the what appear to be chicken biscuits or
those are multigrain
Cheez-Its.
Wheat Thins.
Wheat Thins. And my accoutrements. And also to top it off, it's like a party. I'm so happy to be here tonight. It's like a party because we have Mr. Henry Brann with us tonight. Henry Brann, if you don't know, and you should, and you do, so just, shut up, he's the electric man. He's the par excellence electrician of Philadelphia City, been around the world, been back, and he's here to tell you. He's been through the 60s and survived, and even better. Hey, what? That's a good cracker. Henry, thank you for being here tonight with us on Trippin Balls.
Oh, thanks, JT. I was thinking it was going to be my show, like martini, cheese, and crackers.
Exactly. You brought your style. We're intermingling our styles. I've got my coffee cup full of Jägermeister and the good old Yingling Lager.
This is Hendrick's fine British gin.
Gin. You always win with gin.
My mother had a card when she got too drunk to order another martini. It said 1 beefeater martini on the rocks with a twist of lemon. She was handed to the bartender.
Hey, I've never gotten sick on gin.
No.
It's the truth.
Unlike
it's safe. Kids, if you're going to start drinking heavily, I say gin. Why not? But anyway, as I was saying before, you're an electrician, but more than that, really. You're kind of almost like a cultural touchstone for us here in Philadelphia, because you've been here, there, and everywhere, involved with the rock and roll community. You've lined many clubs with electricity, with your expertise in hooking up things and making sure the positive is not on the negative, but on the positive. Hey, what?
Keep it up, on the positive.
Yeah. What is electricity, Henry?
Oh, gosh.
Can you explain that to me? Like when I'm playing my guitar.
Busy little bees, they're trying to go home.
Yeah, exactly.
And they get sent out to do a job, and then they keep trying to find the pathway home. And while they're trying to find it, they create all this energy and work. And that's what we take advantage of.
Why is it that when I'm playing my guitar, my electric guitar, and all of a sudden everything's just hunky-dory, and then something cuts out, one of the chords gave out? What happened there? Was it sweat?
Well, could have been.
Sweat or perspiration or humidity? Or was it the devil trying to goad me into being a bad person that I don't want to be? Are the electrons almost like
See the door anymore.
Soldiers in the army of love, engaged in a highly competitive battle with the evil amperes that are trying to resist? And who wins that battle? It's kind of a compromise, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all
Isn't it,
related to
Henry?
one another. It's a dance. The watts, the amps, and the volts. It's like woo woo.
You got to watch that because otherwise, it's chaos. Chaos is fun.
It's all electric. It's all vibrations.
Speaking of vibrations, now you came up in the 1960s. Was that your heyday, so to speak?
Yeah, 60s. Yeah, it's like the Cuban Missile Crisis. That was the beginning.
I was born during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Wow, see something good.
That's a good idea, huh? Great, thanks, Mom and Dad. Thanks for that.
Nobody cared about the spam anymore.
No, sir. You were probably a good student in high school, huh?
Well, Darren, boy, I see you're very studious.
Oh yeah, right.
Straight A's.
Well, the only time I ever got straight A's was when they threatened to kick me out of the theater.
You probably did really well in math, though, I can tell.
I like math.
I knew it, man.
But I'm really better at letters.
Letters? Like
rather than numbers.
Okay, like English and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, but you got involved in electricity, and that involves math.
Well, that's true. That's true.
To the extent that you were involved in some kind of secret military project involving anti-submarine systems?
Oh, well, that. Actually, I helped to write a book called Math for Managers, and it was all, you know,
Secretly
from,
coded?
Set theory to stochastic breakdowns.
And that helped who?
It helped the University of Pennsylvania make money off of the taxpayers.
Where did the submarines come into the picture? I'd like the submarines to come into the picture.
The company I work for designed the anti-submarine warfare system.
You know about the Philadelphia experiment? You do know, don't you?
Believe me, I've seen strange things.
Yeah, right. You have all the secrets, and we can't divulge them right now because that would involve probably our lives being at stake at this point.
You know, and really, I never thought that meant much, and I tried it once, and it truly did turn out to be a total disaster, so I'm never going to do it again.
I found that the real Philadelphia experience is to go down to 3rd and South and get a piece of pizza from that place there.
Oh,
and when you're driving home,
yeah, what
it's
kind of mushrooms
good.
do they put on?
I don't know, but they use just enough cheese. Anyway, because we're here on the show called Trippin Balls, that you have some kind of experience with psychedelic drugs. How did you get involved in that when you were such a straight-A student in math?
Oh, well, you know, I kept getting better jobs, and finally I got tired of it.
I heard a girl lured you into this, a woman.
That's like a psychic guess, I suppose.
No, I did research.
Anyway,
there was this girl, and it was for some reason you were at a biker's party or something, and they said, try some of this pot. Or they probably said, try some of this pot, kid. And you said,
everybody needs to sit down and smoke a big hookah and relax.
Why don't you go in the room for 4 hours and try? And this was the beginning, goaded on by your girlfriend who thought you were a square.
Doobie would like you to put on your wings. Got big doobie wings and then start flying with us.
Yeah, that's right. Huh? How the hell did you find that?
Booyah! It's the internet, my friend. What's her name? Susan. Were the 60s really the 60s, Henry, or the 60s as we call them?
By 1970, you were waiting for the shot that would start it all. And, you know, sitting here today, what's different, really?
But I mean, I'm trying to go back in the time machine and say, like, everyone just thought the 60s, they think of it now as a Time Life commercial where everyone's got headbands and they're going, peace and love. But in fact, in reality, it was pretty much like today, except, you know, the TV shows were a little better.
Right on into the general store.
We were sold downriver, you know. This generation was too big for our forebears to handle.
Exactly.
They sired us, and then we became like Frankenstein.
Well, soon after your experimentation with marijuana, well, not too soon after, but at a certain point, you got involved with the dreaded LSD.
Well, prior to this marijuana thing, in '64, I went and saw Leary and Alpert at Princeton University.
Right.
And I was a student, and I was doing a paper. I had social psychology class, and I wrote everything they said down. And I went into class, and I said, "This is such a great story." And I started telling them. They said, "Okay." And they let me do it in 3 parts. First time was my class and the professor. The second time was other professors in the back room. The third time it was just like the hall was filled up. People wanted to find out about this experiment with the,
for it.
You know, up in Cambridge, or where was that anyway, Hamilton? Anyhow, the church, they all had this similar experience.
They wanted to know. That's why it was possible. It's like they were flashing a little bit, little flashcard of heaven at everybody, and everyone wanted a little piece of that, and that's why it became such a phenomenon. But when did it really happen for you? When did you first experience that?
I kept waiting for the right set and setting because of what Larry and Albert told me, you know?
Right.
And I waited, and finally I did it in the back of a Volkswagen driving around Brooklyn in the middle of the night.
Brooklyn? That's no set and setting. That's
filmmaker
like
was
that's
driving.
upsetting.
And Crimson and Clover was playing. And
Exactly.
it kept playing. Oh,
Tommy
God.
James,
Yeah.
Crimson and Clover. Do you
What
like
a
that song
trippy
still?
song. I do. I love it.
You like the extended version with it?
Yeah. One of the better. We had this place called Cerebrum in New York. You can look it up. And
Cerebrum?
Yeah, it was a multimedia studio self-entertainment.
Cerebrum is indeed new. It is different. It is totally unique.
And that was about the time when I first.
Did anything change for you at that point? When you were driving around in the Volkswagen bus?
Yeah. Well, maybe not that particular experience, but subsequent experimentation.